Welcome to Woman Means Business. I'm your host, Nontobeko Gumede, bringing you inspiring conversations with women shaping the world of business. This week, we'll be exploring the public sector leadership and the impact of the Gauteng Industrial Development Zone and its role within South Africa's industrialization strategy. To help unpack this, we are joined by Thandiwe Ngqobe, who is the Chief Executive at Gauteng Industrial Development Zone. Thandiwe, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Now, your career is deeply rooted within public sector leadership. I know that in our last conversation, you said that it gives you fulfillment and it's a passion, which is quite the contrary, looking at the stressful and demanding nature of your portfolio. Can you just touch on some of the defining moments that have led you to feeling that way?
Well, I always knew what I wanted to do. I always knew that I wanted to work in the public sector. When I was growing up, I think between age 13 and 15, I used to read newspapers a lot. And what stood out for me was just financial management in the public sector generally, how things could go wrong, how things were not properly managed. And I knew that that's what I wanted to do. So that's what defined my career choice. I knew that I wanted to work for the public sector. And I know I have friends who are very busy in the private sector, doing extremely well, and they look at me and they're like, how do you do it? It's political, it's all sorts of things. But I think it's an environment in which I thrive because I'm passionate about public sector work. So it's what I love doing. It's you know, I don't see myself doing anything else. It's exactly what I wanted to do. And it does have challenges. And for us women, it's the working hours are very unpredictable. When you have children, it's a struggle. It's a struggle through and through. When you have family, it's a struggle. But it is one which I, embrace.
Just looking at those leadership roles, what have you learned, or what are some of the gaps when looking at operational efficiency and state-owned governance as well? What are some of the things that government is not really looking at or they're missing out on when it comes to unlocking South Africa's true potential?
I think first of all, it's just ensuring that you've got the right people for the job. We don't do it very well. The right people for the job, qualifications, but also personality. Leadership positions are actually about your personality. They're about stakeholder management, the large part of it. Being able to get along with people, being able to know how to relate with different types of stakeholders such that you achieve what you need to achieve. And, and that will inform efficiencies. So when you know what it is that you're supposed to do, the right people to talk to, the right people to bring to your environment, you are able to, achieve things, get things happening, do things quickly. And I think the one thing that has always driven me is that I want to perform. I want to see government doing what it's supposed to be doing. It hurts me every time I read a story about things that went wrong with just how we manage things in government. So I've always gone out and said, I'm going to be different. I'm going to do things different. I'm going to do the right thing. So what drives me is effectiveness, efficiencies, and just delivering clean projects that can be audited at any time, and nothing will be found wanting on those projects. So, that's what I live for. That's what I want to achieve. And throughout my career, that's what I've always driven. Doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. Not because anybody's watching or anybody's giving you something under the table. Do it because it's the right thing to do. And I suppose because my first job was with the Auditor General, and my second job, or my third job, was with the National Treasury. Then I moved to Provincial Treasury. It's always been about compliance, doing the right thing. And I think somehow when I was at National Treasury, it was even more clear to me. And I was at National Treasury at the time when Trevor Manuel was the minister and Maria Ramos was the DG. So they drove the right principles, the right thing to do. And I mean, the one thing that I'll always remember is Maria Ramos saying, imagine your children reading a story about you, your children's children, that you took a bribe, 500,000. And it's something that's there, that's out there in the media, that's out there about you. Is that what you want to be known for? And it always pains me when people do certain things and I'm like, your children are going to read about it, your family is going to read about it. So what drives me is just doing the right thing, compliance, ensuring that government achieves what it's supposed to achieve in the shortest possible time, efficiently, effectively, and cleanly. Can we just drive doing things the right way and being able to produce good results that are clean, that can withstand, you know, whatever scrutiny?
It really is a group project, but one person is the face. And if there's a negative, that one person takes the blame. So can you just break it down for us and our audience in terms of the Gauteng Industrial Development Zone, its impact on the Gauteng economy and the manufacturing sector as a whole?
So the Gauteng Industrial Development Zone drives industrialization through the establishment, design, development of the OR Tambo Special Economic Zone specifically. So within that context, the OR Tambo Special Economic Zone has got 3 precincts which it needs to develop. Precinct 1 is fully operational. Precinct 2 is currently under development. We are installing bulk services so that we can attract investors to the land for them to either put up top structures so that they can operate their businesses, or for government to put up top structures for them. So you are right. It's, I mean, anything that goes wrong, it's me who takes the flak. So I'm actually very involved in ensuring that the right things happen. And I always say to my team, do the right thing. Push the project. Remember, there are so many people who are going to benefit from this project. This project is going to create jobs through the operations of the various investors. It is going to develop skills in various areas or various industries. And it is also going to grow small businesses who are going to come into the value chains of these investors and learn new technologies and then start, you know, creating their own businesses out there. So the OR Tambo Special Economic Zone is very key to industrialization. Actually, special economic zones are there to bolster industrialization or the re-industrialization of the economy. So it's very, very important that we get things right. That from at the time when we start even developing, we have an investor pipeline, which is solid, where we know people are interested. And the good thing is people are interested. And then when you start laying bulk and they see, you know, your TLBs and everything, they then get more encouraged. And then you get more inquiries, more investors, more businesses that want to be located there. So we just need to get things going, do the right things in time to ensure that we reindustrialize the economy of this country.
And just touching on foreign direct investments, which sectors or businesses that are promising within OR Tambo SEZ right now?
Okay, firstly, we define the industry in which we want to operate. So, for example, Precinct 1 is jewelry manufacturing, so it's the mineral beneficiation strategy of the country, and we've got an agro-processing plant within Precinct 1. Precinct 2 is going to be anchored by medical devices and pharmaceuticals. So it's very important. It was very important before we even started developing that we had different conversations with various industry captains, within the pharmaceuticals industry, in the medical devices industries, and we're also talking to other potential investors within your just agro-processing. We've got proposals where people think, let's extend mineral beneficiation through another jewelry manufacturing park, etc. So we are clear about which industries we want to operate in, and we'll see how that works. Precinct 3 is going to be about platinum group metals. The land we will be leasing from Impala Platinum, so obviously they would want us to do anything platinum related. So we are very clear about which industries we want to operate in. We do a lot of research, we engage industry before we take that final decision.
I feel like there's so much more that we need to unpack, but that's all we have for right now. Thank you so much, Thandiwe, for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
That was Thandiwe Ngqobe sharing her expertise on public sector leadership and the pivotal role of the Gauteng Industrial Development Zone in driving South Africa's industrialization strategy to shape the country's economic future. Until next time, goodbye.